The Jolie-Pitt family is one that always makes headlines even during something like a coronavirus pandemic. This time though, it's not about some careless behavior or a fight between one of the kids and parents as usual. Things are a bit more serious. Angelina's son Maddox is back to home with his family in Los Angeles amid the coronavirus pandemic, and Angi has a lot to say about that. So hit the little bell and subscription button and stay with me to find out why Angelina believes that the school shutdown is a huge risk. Alright, so every time I hear something about Angelina or read one of her interviews, I can't help but to think how dark she was at the beginning of her career and how far away she is from that image now. Before, she was known for her body and face plus all the crazy things she was doing in her relationships, which I will talk about more soon, but now she's known for her charity work and for being the perfect example of a single mother of 6. How did all of this happen? Well, I'll tell you all about it in a minute. Man, there are so many things about Angelina's dark side that I don't even know where to start, but I will try my best to cover as many stories as I know. Let's just start with how she's obsessed with death, and she has been from a very young age. And considering how dark Angi was when she was younger, what I'm about to say may come to you as a surprise. Angelina always wanted to be a funeral director, and she even took an at-home course when she was just a teenager and got a mail order certificate. Even one of her tattoos is a Japanese kanji symbol that means death. Oh, and did I mention that she had a collection of knives? And things had gotten out of hand in bed with these knives. Angelina became sexually active at the young age of 14, and she was not able to meet her sexual needs and emotions enough, so she started exploring into new things in bed, one of which was playing with knives. So in a moment of wanting to feel closer to her boyfriend of the time, she grabbed a knife and cut him, and he cut her back. And even later in her life down the line, she exchanged blood with her then husband Billy Bob Thornton, and they both wore it as necklaces. Back then, even a video of Angi was released in which she was describing the beauty of sadomasochistic relationships and how S&M changed her life. I'm guessing that she was on something in that video considering the way she looks and how easily she explained it all in the details. Angi even admitted to the Sunday Times that she had tried almost every drug out there. And a few years ago, even there was a very disturbing video of her that surfaced in which she was talking on the phone in a dirty apartment. Later, it was revealed that her drug dealer had recorded that video. It's no secret that Angelina Jolie has been dealing with depression and addiction throughout her entire life, but did you guys know that she even wanted to take her own life? Well, she didn't want to do it herself because she couldn't bear the thought of her family and her friends feeling guilty about her death, thinking that they could have done something. So she figured she could hire a hitman on herself. The person that she had talked to made her think about her decision for a month, and during that time, things changed in her life, and as you know guys, she survived. After that, things started changing, and she started doing all kinds of things to help change the world. In 2001, Angelina became a Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, a global organization dedicated to saving lives, protecting rights, and building a better future for refugees, forcibly displaced communities, and stateless people. But this was only the beginning, and in 2012, because of her dedication to this organization, she was appointed as Special Envoy, which means right now her focus is more on a major crisis that the result of a mass population displacement. Angelina adopted her first child after she joined the UN refugee camp mission and visited the orphanage at the Maddox Jolie-Pitt was in. And to be able to make her child keep his connection to his heritage, Angi decided to live in Cambodia part-time, and that is how the Maddox Jolie-Pitt Foundation was born, a foundation that is dedicated to alleviating extreme rural poverty, protecting the environment, and conserving wildlife in rural northern western Cambodia. Soon after that, in 2005, she started the National Center for Refugee and Immigrant Children. The NCRIC helps children who are fleeing persecution and arriving alone in the United States so that they get the lawyers they need free of charge for their legal proceedings. 3 years after this, in 2008, Angi traveled to Afghanistan to get international assistance for refugees that were coming from Pakistan after the defeat of the Taliban. In the same year, she opened an AIDS and tuberculosis clinic in Ethiopia. when Angelina adopted a 6-month-old Zahara Marley Jolie-Pitt from Ethiopia. When Jolie adopted Zahara, she was told that the baby was an AIDS orphan, so almost immediately Angi did an HIV test on the kid, but fortunately, the results were negative. So because of this story, Ethiopia has a very special place in our heart. She also became the co-chair of the Educational Partnership for Children of Conflict, an organization that is dedicated to providing children living in conflict-heavy areas with safe and quality education. She also funded a primary school for girls in Angi. And as I said, all of this comes back to the recent interview Angelina had about her son Maddox coming back, where she stated that the school shutdown was a huge risk for 1 billion young people. You might think that Angi should be happy now that Maddox is back home to his family during this international crisis, but the fact is that she has way more important things to worry about. In a recent interview Angelina had with the South Korea's oldest and leading media outlet, she mentioned that half of the students worldwide is out of education currently due to school shutdown. Some children depend on school to get one meal a day that can help them survive through extreme poverty, while other young people may be more vulnerable to abuse and domestic violence. That is why Jolie believes there is an urgent need to help young people to continue their education. During this crisis, Angelina's focus is on something way more important than having her child at home with her. Not that she's not happy about that, but hear what she had to say to Donga Daily yourself. Being suddenly out of school and cut off from friends is hard for anyone, but in some countries, if a young person's education is interrupted in this way, they may never be able to go back because they have to go to work or face other pressures. So there's an urgent need to help young people to continue their education through distance learning, for example, to ensure they're able to get their qualifications and that the other kids get the support they need. This is my major focus and something that I'm working on with UNESCO and a global education coalition. We want to help kids to have access to trusted content and tools that will be useful to them during the pandemic, including helping them to seek out fact-based and reliable news, question the information they receive, and learn from others' experiences. So what do you guys think about this whole situation? Do you believe that Angelina is right, that this pandemic is putting all of her children at risk and by keeping them at home? Well, let's talk about that in the comments, and remember to like and share and become part of our Curious Sips family by subscribing to our channel. Until next time.